Hey mama, welcome to the podcast. It's Jocelyn here, also fellow mama 5, telling you about what to expect during a pregnancy. We are on week 24 right now. Congratulations if you have made it that far. Pregnancy is tough, and hopefully as we go throughout these week updates, you are not only learning things about your body, your baby, and how they're growing, what to expect with appointments, but also mindset stuff and mindset exercises and things to keep your mind in a good spot during pregnancy. I found that it was hard to stay positive when my body and the physical changes I were going through felt so negative. It took a lot of intentionality and a lot of really dedicated work to put my mind in a better spot. But after baby number 3, I really worked hard on that. Or during 3, 4, and 5, I worked really hard, and I have found positivity in pregnancy. Now, not all my moments were perfect. I still had hard moments in pregnancy, and a lot of them, but my mindset was in so much of a better place, and yours can be too if you just take some of these simple steps. So let's jump into this week's episode. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, fellow mom of 5 and host of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find the positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Let's find positivity during our pregnancies and in our motherhood together. Thanks for joining. Baby just keeps on growing. At around this time in your pregnancy, they are about the length of an ear of corn. They're about 1.3 pounds-ish, give or take, and around 12 inches long. They have eyebrows, eyelashes, and if your baby's got hair, it can be seen on an ultrasound at this week in pregnancy. Now, most healthy and normal pregnancies probably won't have another ultrasound, but if you happen to have more ultrasounds because you're high risk or for other reasons, you may be able to see hair now on the ultrasound if your baby has enough of it. Their facial features are more distinct. They can kind of smile and grimace now. And your baby is working on getting fat right now, fat around their muscles and organs and just growing. And it is a miracle how they can grow so perfectly and so well inside your womb. It almost makes me want to tear up thinking about it and learning about it, how amazing it is what our womanly bodies can do in growing these babies. It's so neat. So week 24, this is when providers will want to start doing the glucose tests. So my providers or doctors, midwives, whatever you go to, recommended to do the diabetes test, the gestational diabetes screening around 28 weeks, but it's usually anywhere between 24 to 28 weeks to do that test. So I did a whole episode on all about gestational diabetes, what it is, why they test for it, and some of the risks and complications, things you have to deal with. I also interviewed 3 people I know, 3 women I know who have had gestational diabetes, even one with twins, and what they did to measure and monitor it. And so those are options for you. Today I'm going to talk more about the test that is given for the gestational diabetes screening. So I have done this screening with all 5 of my babies. I felt to do it. It didn't feel wrong. It didn't feel like I shouldn't do it. So I did it with all of mine, but it is recommended. If you feel that you do not want to do this test, you don't have to. Your providers, especially on the more medical end, will make you think that you have to do this, but you don't. For me, I felt that it was wise, though. I wanted to know. I wanted to be able to take all that information from the test, and if I did have gestational diabetes, do what I could to have the most healthy and complication-free pregnancy. So what it is they basically give you a drink, and it's called a glucoa drink. It is full of lots of the sweets and stuff like corn syrup that aren't really the best for your body, but doing it for this test probably isn't going to cause a lot of problems. Nonetheless, do your research on that. So you drink the drink, and then you have to wait an hour, and then if your test is over 140 milligrams per deciliter, they will recommend a 3-hour glucose test, which is a fasting glucose test. So everybody says that the drink is nasty, and you hear horror stories about how gross it was, but to me, it wasn't really that gross. I mean, it was just basically like a really sugary, like a Tampico drink or something like that, a Gatorade, a super sugary Gatorade. It wasn't really as bad as people make it out to be. There is another test that I just learned about that's called the fresh test, that can be an option if you don't want to drink a drink that has like high fructose corn syrup and some of the other yucky ingredients that it comes with. But the fresh test also may not be available in a lot of places, or a lot of the providers may not do it. But it might be worth asking if that is high on your opinions of trying to have healthier things in your body. Another thing that you can do is to monitor your blood sugar for like 5 days and to see how it goes, like are your blood sugars changing a lot. I've heard of people doing that. I think that would be a little more than what I would want to do, but it is an option for those who like options. Definitely all things to think about, but do your research on it and know what you want to do. It is wise before your test to eat higher protein meals instead of sugary carbs. It's not a fasting diet, but if you have a lot of sugar already in your body, it could lead to like a false positive or stuff like that. And so it's just good if you can to have more of a high protein meal before you do this test versus like a sugary meal. Like, don't eat a bowl of cereal. Maybe have eggs instead, or whatever time you go, have something with more protein in it. As I mentioned, I will put all of those gestational diabetes episodes in the show notes. And if you do end up getting gestational diabetes, it's okay. I know that it might feel really hard and really heavy, that you might have to change some things about your diet and what you're eating, but you can do it. You can do these things. Sometimes it's as simple as shifting your mindset. And instead of thinking what you should do, oh, I should eat better, oh, I should walk after I eat, oh, I shouldn't have had that sugar, think about what you could do. Oh, I could replace that sugary treat for a hard-boiled egg, or I could go for a walk right after my meal and just make that part of my pregnancy exercise. Instead of thinking the shoulds, think of what you could do. And it seems like the options open up when we even make that simple mindset shift. It doesn't mean anything is wrong with you or that you're doing anything wrong in pregnancy if you have gestational diabetes. Sometimes it just happens. I mean, sometimes it can run in the family, but don't let yourself get down thinking that this is your fault and it's the end of the world. It's not. You can treat this. There's even medications if needed to help with gestational diabetes. You will have a much better go of it too if you do make those positive mindset shifts. And I am here to cheer for you. I'm also here to support you. If you want personalized personalized support, email me. I will write you back and I will share with you some tips to help you with your mindset during this pregnancy. I want to help you, and I do mean that. So my email is always in the show notes, and I am here to support you during pregnancy. The other thing I wanted to bring up this week was feeling fat in pregnancy. When I was younger and I saw pregnant women, I just always thought that they they were pretty, that they had the pregnancy glow, and that they just loved it and looked so great. And then when I grew up and was pregnant and gaining weight myself, the weight gain was a little mentally hard for me. I even remember one week in church, I had worn a knee-length dress or skirt. I can't remember what it was, but it fell shortly above my knees. And I don't remember if I just looked down at my knees at church or saw my knees in the mirror, but they looked fat. And I was mortified about how I was looking in my knees. Who gets fat around their knees? But I apparently was gaining fat around my knees, and they just didn't look like my knees. And I felt so unpretty, unbeautiful, and just fat. And some of you may also be feeling that you are just feeling kind of fat. And the nice thing about mindsets is that we can shift them. So while I was thinking that I was fat, I was ugly, that my knees were hideous, even though this took some time, I realized that I could change those thoughts. And I want you to realize that you can change those thoughts too. They come easily, and they can plague your mind and be a negative pull that drags you down. And we don't want to drag you down. We want to build you up. So think of some things that you do like about your body, that you do like about your pregnancy, and that you are happy about yourself, and really just dwell on those. Almost to the point that you're pushing out the fact of, my knees are huge, or my thighs are big, or my bum has really grown, or my love handles are huge, or I've got chub in my face, my fingers are looking fat. Any of those are all probably thoughts that maybe you've thought, or other people have thought, or one of those resonates with you over another. And this week I want you to shift it away from your problem area. Don't dwell on your problem area. Instead, focus on what you like. Focus on the things that are going good. So maybe you do like your baby bump, and you're like, oh my goodness, I have a baby bump and it's so cute. Once you actually can see the baby bump, I actually do think they're cute. There is that phase where you're kind of fat that's a little, feels frumpy. Nonetheless, these mindset tips work for that phase too. But find something you like about your body. Maybe it's even your eyes, or your hair, or your ears. Maybe you have a great nose. Maybe you like how big your boobs are right now. Think about the good things about your body and dwell on them. It is these little mindset shifts in positivity that really do help you to have a more positive pregnancy. And it is worth it to make these little shifts. Anyways, as I've already mentioned, I am cheering for you. Make these little shifts this week in where you're feeling fat, and instead focus on what you like. Focus on the good things that are happening and enjoy them. We will visit again next week. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts and becoming the mother that you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. Thanks for joining. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward in your motherhood. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.